talk about paid in advance profits. How do we turn an MVP into a profit machine before you even create the MVP? So what's an MVP? Minimum viable product. I heard it over here. That's right. Okay, one of the big things that we were talking about, Ed mentioned it. Actually, Ed mentioned it like a billion times, and so did Vinny. We talked about it on the panel was, doing so many things, trying for perfection, trying to build out that amazing whatever it is that you're going to sell instead of just getting out there and getting it to market. Okay? However, if you can just get the minimum viable product up, get it rocking, get it rolling, you can create all kinds of stuff, right? You can actually test traffic, you can get into action, you can get things making money, and then you can go back and get it going. You don't have to have that 100% product. All you need is roughly 80%. Everything kind of rolls back to the whole Pareto principle, right? The 80-20 rule. You can get something to 80%, which is MVP status on average, right? Very quickly, matter of weeks, matter of days, matter of hours. But that last 20% usually takes as long, if not twice as long, as it took you to get their minimum viable product together. So should you spend all that extra 20% of time, which could be quadruple the time, should you spend that time perfecting the product or selling it? Selling it. Because what if you spend the time perfecting it and then when you sell it, you find out nobody wants it? Okay, hopefully you guys do your market research before that, but you might find out you have a dud, right? So this is how I'm going to show you how to avoid that, and we're going to talk about exactly how to get paid in advance for your MVP. It's something that Los and I do in our business every single month. Almost every one of you in here has been a participant in one of our paid MVPs, okay? So I'll show you some case studies where you'll be like, holy crap, that's what he was doing? Yeah, ninja, right? All right, so a paid in advance MVP is getting paid up front by your customers for a product or training that you have not yet created. Kind of like pre-selling, but in a much cooler way and a lot longer of a sentence, okay? I couldn't sell you a ticket to come here just to tell you how to pre-sell, so I had to make it sound better. Okay, so the main benefits of this model. It's a great way to validate an idea, like we just said. Money in hand equals motivation. How many of you guys just love to sit down at your computer and create a product? Or write a 60-page PDF or write a book? How much fun is that? Sucks. Even when you like the book. Even Vinny, when he wrote his book, he wrote every single day, and he had to force himself to do it. He did it in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something, but it wasn't a fun process. I wrote my book, my first book took me, I think, 3 weeks to write. And it wound up being like, after edited, about 51,000 words, and it was a nightmare. I hated every single minute of it, but man, was it kind of cool when that book was finished. My next book, I said, hey, Aaron, find me someone to write my book. And I gave him all my brain dump, and he had someone write the book, and then I could edit it. That worked a lot better. So it also prevents procrastination. But when you get money in hand for something, aren't you more inclined to actually get it done? Absolutely. And how about if you get a lot of money in hand? Are you even more inclined to get it done? Yeah, so like, how about if someone said, hey, here's $250,000. Could you create a webinar presentation in a couple days? No? I tell you, I'd do it every month. Absolutely, right? If you get that kind of money together, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to do this, all right? That's one of my problems. As you can tell, I like training, I like content. I'm fairly good at putting together presentations and slides that teach complex topics in simple formats. However, I hate creating the content unless I'm inclined or motivated to do it. So what I found is if I can put myself under pressure, and the pressure of that is you guys have given me money, and now I'm beholden to you until I deliver something that's just phenomenal, that's when I shine. And I have figured out a way to motivate myself to produce the trainings that I've produced. This actually, a lot of people, if you've ever tried it, you may not know, but a lot of people find that they work better under pressure like that because when they feel they're beholden or obligated to somebody else, they tend to shine in their performance because everybody will do more for somebody else than they'll do for themselves. Yes, creating this course or creating a product or creating a service could change your life if you did it, but Simpsons is on, right? Man, whatever that show that they just canceled that everybody went crazy about, Grey's Anatomy or one of those medical shows, Scrubs, was that it? I don't know. Everybody on Facebook was crying because they canceled some show, and I'm like, I didn't even know there was a show. Okay, builds a proven and saleable asset. You're getting paid to build a product, build a service, build a company, build a brand that can then later be sold. And it's an easy internal profit maximizer. You can easily add one of these to any existing business model, any existing business structure, and soak up additional capital when you have a slack period in your month.
Today, I just want to talk to you a little bit about Facebook ads and using them to drive traffic to your store. Over the last week, we've doubled sales every single day. And this morning, about 7:30 this morning, we already were over $1,000 profit for the day.